Hello my loyal YouTube followers. I've got my gutter garden growing here. I didn't make a video about how to make it, just a few stills, so I've decided now I'm going to expand it. A friend kindly gave me some, 4 beans, and I've got some space here, so I'm going to show you how to create a gutter garden. This time we're going to be doing it on the cheap. Couple of old bird feeder buckets. Circular saw, put the holes in, some water, and of course the potting compost. One thing we do need is a wicking material, so we're going to put a hole in the bottom of here. We'll need a wicking material around inside the bucket, so the water gets sucked up into the potting compost. You can buy, as I did here, some proper fabric, or I'm just going to use an old t-shirt. There's a step-by-step guide at the end of this, but basically rainwater comes down there into the rain butt along that little yellow hose pipe. That's not connected to a tap, is connected to the rain butt only. Yep, so you can see from the rain butt down and into the rain gutter itself. That's a plastic gutter with a piece of wood either side to support it. There's all the plants. They're standing on the wooden supports so they don't fall over, and all there is in there is a simple float valve, so it only ever fills to near the top of the rain gutter. A really simple design, and that just stops mosquitoes growing in it. The key step is the planting process itself. To keep the video family friendly, my wife made me put a new t-shirt on. The first thing you do is not take the lid off as I'm doing here, because if you do that, there's no structural integrity to the bucket, and you'll see what happens when you try to drill a hole. Get your hole saw, make sure it's clipped in together properly, then start drilling. All goes well to begin with, and then it just smashes to pieces. Drilling the second bucket, you leave the lid on and goes through nicely, leaving you with a nice clean circle at the bottom of your bucket. Ta-da! Start cutting your t-shirt, making a piece big enough to fit inside the bucket with a little bit sticking out the bottom like a sad glove pocket. Make sure you've got space for the bucket and where it's going to sit, then cut a hole through the black plastic on the rain gutter itself so that you can poke your cloth through and get the wicking effect to work. Poke the cloth through the hole, so make sure it's in the water. Yep, water's there. It's important here everything stays wet during this process to start the capillary effect. It's really important to use potting compost, it's not multi-purpose. It gives the capillary effect, allows the water to get sucked up, critical to the process. So add a little bit first. You want to get it into the bottom of the bucket through that hole, so you push it in, start prodding it through, make it get into that rain gutter. You'll feel your fingers getting wet and muddy. Okay, once it's there, quick spray, and you've got some more. So next, scoop more, put that in, yeah, spread it around a bit, water it in. It's amazing how much water you actually use in this process just to get it all thoroughly damp to begin with. The great thing is you never need to water it again. Keep this up, soaking each layer. You can see standing water at the top there, just keep going till you've finished. With your bucket full of really wet compost, you can start putting your beans in. So one on this side, squeeze it in. The compost here is absolutely sopping, so it's very easy to plant in. Second one, in you go, and you're done. That is the end of your gardening chores until you start having to pick the beans themselves. So here's a series of photos I took during the original build process. Start off with a rain butt, then you get a load of materials, the wood, the gutter itself, some buckets, some wicking material. The wood goes either side of the drain pipe, the bucket will sit on top of it. So you get your wood, a couple of screws, so you don't split it. It's probably worth drilling through the side of that first. There's the float valve fitted. That's what controls the water level. And look, you can see water dribbling in while the float's depressed. When the float reaches level, it stops. The buckets have got big holes in the bottom. The holes in the side are air holes. That's meant to stop the roots getting pot bound. There's some wicking material that goes into the bucket. I use socks to dip into the actual rain gutter itself. So there's a sock with some compost in it, and we put that in the bucket. There it goes, sock, bucket, wicking material. Now you start topping the compost up, very much like you saw in the video earlier. You can see it's sopping wet. Once you've got it like that, you can start cutting holes into the drain pipe. So the sock goes through that hole, and then you put your plants in and you're happy.